The next thing I would say is the biggest thing, and this is gonna be something you can't get away from. Hey family, what's going on? It's your girl Titanium Moss, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I talk about sexual wellness, fashion, lifestyle, career, and entrepreneurship advice. So if any of those things are interesting to you, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below so you can become a part of the family too. And for all my returning viewers, hey family, what's going on? Thank you so much for coming back and clicking on another video from your girl. So today we are back again with another social work series, and today y'all is going to be all about my job. So I had one of my subbies, which she's always giving me video suggestions, and I really appreciate her. I believe her name is Khadijah. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name, girl, but shout out to you. Thank you so much for the suggestion on this video. And I also have people all the time ask me questions pertaining to my job, so I figured let me just go ahead and make a video all about it so you guys are just aware the requirements, everything of that sort on the particular thing that I do currently. So if you guys are interested in that, please give this video a thumbs up and let's get started. Okay, so the book definition of a QMHP varies from various different things. But first of all, let me explain what is a QMHP. A QMHP is a qualified mental health professional. And with that, you are a licensed professional who is able to work along adults or children that experience some type of mental health crisis or actually have a mental illness in general. So with that, you're able to provide all different types of services, and you're collaborating alongside other people to help this individual to the best of their ability to get the assistance they need. So a lot of times in a QMHP work, you're doing a lot of case management, which can be referring your client to other people such as outpatient therapists, because that is something that they drill in your head for sure. When you have a client, you have to have your client in outpatient services. Now there's an issue sometimes where this comes in where a client might not want to receive outpatient services because they're like, well, if I have you come in here, what's the point of me going to this? Well, it's only certain things that QMHPs can do that licensed counselors and social workers are able to do. So with that being said, you have got to do that. In order for your case to keep getting approved with your client, then you have to have some of those collaborative services in place so that you can be able to continue to keep getting your client approved until the insurance company decides to discharge them. So I know that was a lot, and it's probably very confusing, and it's like, girl, what is you talking about? But I'm gonna try to break it down as much as possible in different categories so you guys can get what's going on. So get your pen, get your paper, and we're gonna keep it rolling. So first things first, when people ask me what is my job title, I would tell them I'm a qualified mental health professional. But if I wanted to keep it simple and not get too much confusion, I just say a mental health social worker, because pretty much we're a social worker providing mental health services to these clients in shorter terms to not get nobody confused. So you have two different things here. You have your QMHP A, which you're able to work with adults, and you have your QMHP-C license, which you're able to work with children. You need to obtain both of these if you want to work with both populations. If you don't want to work with one of them, then you don't have to go after them. There are definitely requirements that you have to go under in order to get your QMHP license to do this kind of job, and I'm about to tell you what it is right now. So first off, the minimum you have to have is a bachelor's degree in social work or some type of related field such as human services, sociology, psychology, and other various different things. You have to have at least 1,500 hours if you have a bachelor's degree, and they have to be supervised by somebody that is licensed. And then if you have your master's degree, all you have to have is 500 hours supervised by somebody that has their license as well. I would say the salary for Virginia, because that's where I am from, when I looked it up on Google, it is around $41,000 a year, which is not bad. I feel like that's pretty much the typical average medium of the everyday person of what they're making a year. Now, what I will say is this. Me personally, I have made much more money than that, and I'm not bragging or anything, but I just want to inspire and let people know that there is money to be made in this field and with your bachelor's degree as well. Even though I am currently in the process of obtaining my master's degree, I do just want to put that out there, that there is money to be made in this field, and you don't have to have a master's degree to get to it. Okay, so I'm gonna just leave that there for y'all. But the average is, like I said, $41,000 for it if you're curious. Now, if you are a QMHP already, or if you're just curious about getting this job or whatnot, the continuation of your licensure comes as follow. Every year in June, you have to renew your QMHP license, both A and C if you obtain both, and I believe it is $30. If it's not 30, I think it's $50. If you're applying for it for the first time, the application fee is $35, and then both things that you're applying for is separately $100, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I lied. It's $50 per license that you apply for. So you will be paying $100, and then I think that $35 of the application fee as well. If I'm wrong, forgive me, but I do know at least bare minimum you have to pay $50 for each in order to first apply to even get your QMHP license, and then that's when you 1,500 hours or whatnot, and this has to be obtained within a 5-year span. So when you're getting your hours, it has to be within a 5-year span, and you're going to be licensed under the Board of Counseling. So that's cool, right? You can have a license or whatnot in some type of way before you get your LMSW, your LPC, or whatever it is that you choose to get or whatnot. You have some type of license under your belt. And I just feel like the more licensures and the more certificates and trainings and different things that you have, you're putting yourself on the marker of obtaining more money, because that's what it's all about. I mean, of course we want to get out here and help people, but helping people does not pay the bills either. I'm just saying, okay, I love what I do, but that doesn't pay the bills. So we want to, I feel like everybody, that's your main goal, is to obtain higher wealth at the end of the day. So what I'm about to go into now is some of the pros and cons of QMHP work. And if you guys see me looking down, forgive me. I have some notes here. Sometimes my memory is poop. Okay, y'all, so some of the pros that come with doing QMHP work is you are able to create your own schedule. And with you creating your own schedule, guess what? That means flexibility. So you're able to make up your own schedules based on what your clients are okay with. So if you want to see your clients Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and you only have to see them a set amount of hours, then you can set your schedule up like that. Or if you're somebody that you're in school and seeing people on the weekend will work better for you, then you might see your clients Thursday through Sunday. So whatever works best for you, that's what you want to do. I know me personally, I like to set my schedule up where I'm off on the weekends, but sometimes, you know, things come up and you might have to switch your day around and see somebody on a day that you typically wouldn't see them. It's all up to you. But that is one of the biggest things that has kept me in this job so long, is the flexibility, because again, you can make your own schedule. The next pro I would say is that you learn so much. When I tell you, I have been thrown in so many different situations that I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't trained nor prepared for. And it was scary, but like now I kind of know how to navigate through those things moving forward with certain clients. It is of course still some things that I can learn a lot on, and I feel like with me going back to school, that's going to help a lot, especially when it comes to crisis training. I think that's one of the biggest things a lot of people are scared of, because when somebody tells you they're suicidal, you don't want to tell them the wrong thing or give them the wrong protocols, and then it makes the situation even worse, right? So and that's happened to me before, and I kind of like was confused on what to tell them. So at this point now, I feel like I'm a little bit better with it, and I typically just try to talk with them through it. We can call the suicide hotline together. I give them those numbers. I give them the number to the National Alliance of Mental Health, which is NAMI or whatnot. You can also get like a crisis team to come out to the house to help, and also to take your client somewhere, or sometimes it might end up coming to the point where you have to take your client to a psychiatric hospital or something like that if it gets so worse on those ends. So it's a bunch of different things that comes along with it. But what I will say is you're gonna learn so much. I have pretty much done so many things. I have experience working from children as young as 6 all the way up to adults as old as 70. So I've worked with every type of population you can think of. I've been thrown in various different scenarios where I've been uncomfortable. Clients have challenged me. I have had my boundaries stepped on thousands of times. So it's so many things that I've had to kind of just learn as time has went on. But being in a job, you're going to be thrown into a lot of different stuff. So you just have to prepare yourself for that. And the next point I would have is having your license. Like I said, the more licensures and certificates you have, the more you're going to be approachable, or not approachable, the more obtainable you're going to be able to get more jobs and have people look at you and recruit you and things of that sort. Now of course, with every good thing, there's always some bad stuff, okay? So Now we're gonna get onto the cons, which I did briefly speak on that. So sometimes one of the cons is your role kind of getting confused. A lot of times people don't understand what is a QMHP's role exactly or whatnot. And again, it goes back to that factor of you are that change agent, which that's what social workers are. You're coming in, you're providing resources, referrals. Sometimes you're giving some type of therapeutic type of activity, or taking them and accompanying them to an appointment or something of that sort, because maybe your client might be a little bit on the, no offense, illiterate side or something of that sort. So you have to speak up and advocate for them. So that can become a little like draining and frustrating at times. This varies from company to company, but I know from my experience and from other people that I hear from, and I'm not talking about my job, any of this stuff, I'm not going to sit up here and say what my job does not have or whatever, but I'm just speaking on experiences and what people have told me that have worked and done QMHP work as well, that you don't get no benefits with this type of job. It's kind of like you're an independent contractor at the end of the day. So yeah, you can make a lot of money, but then you're not receiving health insurance, you're not receiving PTO, sick time, all of these different things. So with that, you're gonna find yourself in a lot of situations of going to the next point. You're gonna have to have a plan whenever you get sick or you do want to go on a trip, because when you don't see your clients, you don't get paid. And so there goes that scenario of when you have those benefits, you could be able to fall back on your PTO time or your sick time, your vacation time. And unfortunately, some companies that do QMHP, offer QMHP jobs, do not offer you those benefits, which sucks. Another con is you're using your own vehicle to drive to these people's homes, and you're putting all types of mileage and things of that sort. Sometimes these clients are getting in your car and you're putting yourself at risk of contracting the COVID-19, or them accidentally defecating or just doing something else in your car. So it's just a lot of different things and factors that you have to think about when it comes to this job. The next thing I would say is the biggest thing, and this is gonna be something you can't get away from. When you're in social work, you're gonna have to do some type of documentation, but it is the notes. When I tell y'all, that probably has to be the worst part of this job. Not even seeing the clients, not dealing with the clients and the issues and stuff. It is the notes. It is so draining. Like when you get off work, you're literally like, oh man, I gotta do this note documentation. I have to do this, write up this note that I did on my client. Now if you watch my vlogs regularly and stuff like that, I've kind of gotten a plan down packed now where I'm able to get my notes done in a timely manner, and it helps me to be less stress free. So if you're interested in seeing that, definitely make sure that you watch some of my vlogs or whatever. But some of the tips that I'll just give you quickly is I go in a separate room or go in a separate place, sometimes the library, Barnes and Noble, Starbucks, things of that sort, to get my notes done. Because when you're out in a place where you are motivated to get things done, you're able to get stuff done more quickly, if you ask me. I also use my iPad, and I also use my notes app, where I speak into my phone the things that I want to put on my notes. So by the time I get home, all I have to do is copy and paste and transfer it over into my Word document. And so you just got to find like little different ways to help to speed up your note process or whatever, because nobody's trying to do no notes all day long. So you got to do and find different ways to see what works best for you. Another con I would say is sometimes how overwhelming and lonely this job can be. You have to think you're working by yourself a lot of times. Again, it's going back to that independent contractor at this sense. So the only time I really see my co-workers and stuff is maybe if I run into them, if we are all working different people, if we go to a facility or something or whatnot. But if you don't have cases at the facility and you have people that are out in the community, you're not going to see your co-workers. And so it can get very lonely and very kind of stressful in a sense, because you just feel like you're on your own and you get confused a lot. But what I will say is you typically do have weekly supervision meetings. If you work with children clients, you have to get supervised every week for that. And if it's adults, you have to get supervised once a month. But that is a time for you to come together with other co-workers and collectively bounce ideas off of each other, speak about your cases and issues that you got going on, and that's going to help you a little bit more when it comes to having that sense of community. But besides that, I really don't see my co-workers a lot, and it can get lonely, like I said. So I am definitely your virtual sister here if you are in the QMHP field or whatnot, social work field. fulfilled or whatever, because I know sometimes with other social work jobs people mention that they get lonely and stuff too. So if you ever need somebody to bounce ideas off of, or you just want some encouragement, things of that sort, come on over, girl, you know. And guys too, I'm definitely welcoming and open to helping you all. And I think that's pretty much it, guys. I did want to just briefly just talk about some of the things that I do. You run your sessions the way you want to run it. So if you want to talk about that day emotions and feelings, you can do that. If you want to do painting with your client that day, you can do that. If you want to take your client to a park and allow them to get outside and build social skills and see what it's like being in the community and monitor how they behave in a community environment and stuff, do that. So you run your sessions based on how you want to. This job is that's another part I meant to say. You can be as creative as you want to be with these sessions based on whatever your client is going through and dealing with. Again, as QMHPs, we do care coordination, we do case management, and we also do a little bit of crisis intervention. So again, you're doing a lot of different stuff. You're learning a lot of different stuff. It is a really good job, I feel like, to start out as, and a good side job to have too. But I definitely don't see myself retiring from this. I'm probably gonna looking for another job after I get my master's degree, but you know, we'll see. Only God will tell what the end of the story is for your girl. But I thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I hope I answered and kind of discussed all things when it comes to this type of job as far as QMHP work or whatnot. If you made it all the way to the end of this video and you still subscribed to the family yet, what are you waiting on? Click on that red subscribe button down below. I forgot to ask y'all a question. Y'all know I always ask y'all a question at the end of these social work series videos, and today's question is going to be, what is your current job that you have and do you like it? Because sometimes we're doing things just for the heck of it, okay? We're doing it to get by until we get to that next point in life. So I'm just curious to see, where do you guys work at, and do you like your job or not? You know, let's start a conversation down in the comments. If you have any questions or any video requests, please leave them down below. I hope you guys are having an amazing day when you see this. I'm wishing you all success in your careers, in your life, and just all in general. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, always supporting and showing your girl some love. And you already know I will see you in my next video. Bye, y'all.